The Earth was dying. For years, scientists had predicted its fate, but few had truly believed it would happen. But as the black hole, known only as Event Horizon, drew closer to the solar system, the signs became undeniable. Oceans swallowed cities, hurricanes tore apart nations, and the atmosphere became choked with ash from relentless wildfires. Earth was no longer a habitable place. Dr. Lara Rios, a leading astrophysicist, stood among the last remnants of humanity at the final launch pad. The Elysium fleet, humanity's last hope, was preparing to leave. She glanced at the control panel in front of her. Every minute was critical. The planet's gravitational pull was weakening. "All ships are go," Captain Elias Hawke's voice echoed over the comms. His tone was calm, but Dr. Rios could hear the tension in it. He knew this was a one-way journey. If the fleet didn't find a new planet soon, humanity would be lost forever. With a single command, the fleet launched, leaving behind a world that had sustained life for millennia. It was a bittersweet farewell. As they ascended into the stars, Dr. Rios could feel her pulse quicken. The black hole, now visible through the viewing windows, was their constant reminder of their impending doom. The fleet had been traveling for months. The vastness of space stretched endlessly before them. Aboard the flagship Odyssey, Dr. Rios and her team continued to study distant star systems, searching for a suitable planet. Nexus, the fleet's advanced AI, ran simulations every day, analyzing data from across the galaxy. But despite all their technology, nothing seemed to offer any hope. "Captain, I'm detecting a signal," said Lieutenant Elena Park, the fleet's communications officer. Her voice broke through the constant hum of the ship's engines. "It's weak, but it's structured, definitely artificial." The crew gathered around the display. The signal seemed to originate from a distant star system, one that had previously been uncharted. The planet seemed to have the right conditions to support life, at least on paper. But something was strange about it. The closer they got, the more intense the signal became, until it felt almost alive. Dr. Rios frowned, sensing that something was off. "It's too perfect. Why hasn't anyone found it before?" she muttered to herself. Ignoring her reservations, Captain Hawke made the decision. "We're heading there. Prepare the fleet for arrival." Chapter 3. The Approach. As the Elysium fleet entered the planet's atmosphere, the first signs of trouble began. Systems started to fail. Communications with Nexus became increasingly erratic, as if something was deliberately blocking their signals. The gravitational pull of the planet was stronger than expected, distorting the ship's movements. "We've got a problem, Captain," Lieutenant Park reported. "The planet's gravitational field it's fluctuating. It's not natural." Dr. Rios joined her at the console, staring at the data. The planet was more than just an anomaly. It was alive. Its gravitational field acting like a living organism, drawing them in like prey. "We need to land and investigate," Dr. Rios said. But a deep sense of foreboding settled over her. There was something they weren't being told, something hidden in the pulse of the planet. Despite the warnings, the fleet landed. The sky was a sickly shade of green, and the air smelled of something unnatural, almost metallic. Thick, twisted forests stretched as far as the eye could see. Shadows moved in the periphery, and everything seemed eerily still, as if the planet was waiting for them. Chapter 4: The First Encounter. The explorers stepped onto the alien soil, their boots sinking slightly into the ground. The gravity was stronger than Earth's, making each step feel heavier. "Stay sharp," Captain Hawk ordered. "There's something not right about this place." Dr. Rios scanned the terrain. There was a strange energy in the air, an electric charge that made her skin prickle. The team moved cautiously through the dense forest, the gnarled trees casting long, twisted shadows. The silence was unnerving. And then they saw it. At first, it was a flicker, a shadow darting between the trees. Then, more figures emerged. Tall, slender humanoid creatures, their eyes glowing an unsettling shade of yellow. They moved silently, their long limbs undulating in impossible ways. Before anyone could react, one of the creatures stepped forward, its form flickering in and out of focus like it was made of smoke. We need to leave," Rios said, her voice barely above a whisper. But before anyone could retreat, the alien spoke, not with words, but directly into their minds. "You do not belong here." A wave of psychic energy exploded outward, knocking everyone to the ground. Panic spread like wildfire. They scrambled to their feet, but the aliens were already closing in. Their eyes glowed brighter, their movements more aggressive. "Fall back to the ships!" Captain Hawk shouted. The team sprinted toward the landing zone, but it was too late. The aliens moved like shadows, blocking their path, pushing them deeper into the alien wilderness. Chapter 5: The Hunt Begins. The aliens were not just attacking, they were hunting. Their speed and precision were terrifying. Every time the humans tried to fight back, the aliens countered effortlessly, their energy pulses disintegrating anything that came into contact with them. In the chaos, Dr. Rios realized that these creatures were not merely predators. They were part of the planet itself, an ancient and sophisticated species capable of manipulating time and space. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were being herded. "What do they want?" she asked, gasping for breath as she sprinted. "They don't want to kill us," Captain Hawk said, his voice tight with fear. "They want to trap us." Suddenly, the ground beneath them shook violently. The sky, which had been a sickly green, now flickered with an ominous red hue. The black hole, once a distant threat, was now visible in the sky, its gravitational pull distorting the very fabric of space. "We need to leave now!" Dr. Rios screamed. But as the humans made their way toward the fleet, they found that the ships were malfunctioning. The alien creatures had sabotaged everything. The Odyssey's engines were dead, and the escape pods were offline. "We're trapped," Lieutenant Park said, her voice breaking. "We're too far from the black hole to escape on our own." The fleet was stuck. The black hole was growing closer with each passing second, and the alien creatures were closing in. Chapter 6: The truth-revealed desperation set in. Dr. Rios and the remaining survivors fought their way to the alien structure that loomed in the distance. A massive, monolithic building made of strange, organic material. It pulsed with an unnatural energy, and as they approached, the alien creatures grew more aggressive. Inside, they found the true horror of the planet. It was a living entity, an organic superstructure that had been feeding off the gravitational pull of the nearby black hole for millennia. The aliens were its keepers, bound to this planet for eternity, feeding off the life force of anyone who arrived. The black hole, Dr. Rios realized, wasn't just a cosmic anomaly. It was the heart of the planet's power. The creatures and the planet were intertwined in a symbiotic relationship, feeding off the black hole's energy to survive. "We're not just their prey," Dr. Rios said, her voice trembling. "We're food. Energy." Suddenly, the alien overlord appeared. It was massive, towering over them, its body flickering like an ancient hologram. It spoke directly into their minds. "You have entered my domain. Now, you will sustain me." Chapter 7. The fight for survival, the battle that followed, was nothing short of brutal. The alien overlord unleashed waves of psychic energy, throwing the crew against the walls of the structure. Every time they thought they had the upper hand, the overlord would shift, bending time and space itself to its will. Dr. Rios, her mind racing, realized that their only hope lay in manipulating the core of the alien structure. If she could use the black hole's gravitational energy against them, she could destabilize the planet's core and create a rift in space that would allow them to escape. But time was running out. The black hole was pulling closer, its gravitational force bending space around the planet. "We don't have much time," Captain Hawk shouted, rallying his crew. "We need to destroy the core." Chapter 8. Desperation. Dr. Rios and the remaining crew rushed to the heart of the alien structure, where they found the core, a swirling mass of energy feeding off the black hole's pull. The alien overlord followed them, its presence like a dark cloud hanging over them. "We can't let it reach full power," Dr. Rios shouted. The crew fought off the alien forces, but it was clear that the battle was hopeless. The overlord was too powerful. It was unstoppable. In a final act of desperation, Dr. Rios interfaced with the alien technology, sending a surge of energy through the core. The planet's entire structure groaned, shaking violently as the gravitational field around them began to destabilize. "I've done it!" Dr. Rios shouted. "It's happening!" But the black hole was already too close. The planet began to tear itself apart. Chapter 9. The Escape. With the planet collapsing, the fleet's escape pods activated, and the remaining survivors made a desperate dash toward the open space. As they left the planet behind, they felt the shockwave of the planet's destruction reverberate through space. The black hole was now only moments away from swallowing the alien planet whole. The fleet barely escaped, the event horizon of the black hole looming ominously behind them. Chapter 10. A Fragile Hope. The Elysium fleet drifted in the dark void of space, the remnants of their journey hanging over them like a dark cloud. The planet they had hoped to colonize was gone, devoured by the black hole. Their survival was a miracle, but it didn't feel like one. "We're not safe yet," Captain Hawk said, his voice grave. Dr. Rios stared at the stars through the observation window. The black hole's gravitational pull still lingered, its immense power distorting the fabric of space around them. "We've escaped one danger," Dr. Rios said, her voice barely a whisper. "But the universe is full of unknowns." The survivors of the Elysium fleet had narrowly escaped death, but their journey was far from over. The black hole loomed, and the universe was filled with more secrets, secrets they would have to face if they hoped to survive. And so, their journey continued, deeper into the abyss.